Cause I'm already drunk. Hi, the bar is open. What are you drinking? Because I'm already drunk. And I'm back with the Summer House Season 10 Reunion Part 1. Now, here's a quick little timeline for you. The first episode of Summer House Season 10 aired on February 3rd, 2026. And the first episode was filmed in July 2025, starting with the 4th of July weekend. The episode was called Red, White, and Nude. The bombshell of Wes and Amanda being together dropped on March 31st. They both put out a joint statement. In real time on March 31st, episode 9 of The Summer House was airing, which means we had 7 episodes left where we knew that Wes and Amanda were together. Hence the reason why the titles of my videos are called Let's Find the Breadcrumbs. Because I got to go back and see in past time if it was possible that this could have started before their statement. And I believe it did. And I think I proved that in my videos, which was my intention. So now here we are at the reunion, which is 3 parts. And I'm sure you guys have already seen it. And that's good. So now we can recap it together. So go grab your cocktails. And for the Carls of the world, go grab your non-alcs. And let's get right back into it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications because you'll know when part 2 drops. And so like the video, guys. Thanks. Let's go. Now, you see this beautiful, lovely photo here, right, of the cast. You know, you see you got Linz, and you got West, and you got Kyle there on the bottom. And then you got Dara and KJ. Oh, Dara, you made the photo. Great. And then you got Maya and Jesse. You got Levi and Ben. You have Amanda and Sierra. And then you have Carl and Bailey. So, yeah. Nice little photo there. And now in this next photo, this is the reunion photo. Okay. Do you notice that anything is missing? Maybe, perhaps? Anything? Anything? I'll give you a minute. Yeah. Do you see it? No? Do you see it now? Not yet? Not yet? How about now? There she is. Good old Levi. I had to put her in there because they left her out of the reunion photo. Although Dara made it. Interesting. So there she is. Good old Levi. There you go, honey. There's your 5 seconds in the sun. You're welcome. Now we start off the reunion, part 1, with the statement. Okay, March 31st, 2026. That's when West and Amanda dropped their statement. And here's Lindsay sitting on a couch with a green screen behind her or a green painted wall, whatever. And she's doing her confessionals for In the City. Yeah, it's the new show. You know what it is. Anyway, her and Kyle are on the same show. So Kyle is there. I don't know if he was there to do his confessionals, but whatever. He's there. And he's got his old lover boy. So you know he means business. And yeah, he says, why don't you check out your old phone there, Lindsay? And so she breaks out her phone and she's going to read the statement. Now, I'm going to read the statement unless you want to pause it and then zoom in, be my guest. But anyway, this is the statement as follows. This is from Amanda Bachula, or however you pronounce her last name. I think this is from her Instagram story or wherever, from one of her platforms. And it says, we've seen the growing online speculation. So while this is still very new, we wanted to provide some clarity. It was never our intention to purposely hide anything. Given the complicated relationship dynamics involved and the scrutiny that comes with being on a reality show, we needed a little space to process things privately before speaking on it. We've shown up for each other as friends over the years, through all the highs and lows, and what's developed recently was the last thing either of us expected. Our connection grew out of a genuine, long-standing friendship, which made it especially important for us to approach this with care. As our feelings evolved, we wanted to take time to understand exactly what we were feeling. We also recognize that this has had an impact beyond just us and never wanted our actions to cause any hurt or be perceived as careless. We truly appreciate the understanding and respect as we navigate this. So Lindsay finishes reading it, and then she's like, this doesn't make any sense, Kyle. And Kyle's like, yeah, I know. Look at his face. Oh, poor Kyle. He's like, dude, what the fuck, man? Yeah, but I think he already knew. You know what I mean? But he's got his surprised look on. I mean, I'm saying that because later on he says that he's had his suspicions, you know what I mean? But he's still shocked nonetheless, you know, as would I be too. So now at this point in time, everybody starts calling them, right? So Lindsay has her phone, Kyle has his phone, and she starts getting like a three-way on her phone, and people start calling Kyle. So the first one to call is Jesse, and he's like, dude, this is fucking nuts, man. What the fuck? And then they get Mia on the phone, and she's like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Like, oh my God. Hi, Kyle, are you okay? No, Mia, dude, I'm not okay, all right? Like, I was just at this dude's house, like at his father's ranch, all right? Like back in May, all right? We were like on the truck, like shooting beers and shit and kicking hay barrels and whatnot, you know what I mean? I was even on the horse. He fucking taught me how to fucking saddle up a horse and shit. We went to the racetracks and shit together, brother. Or no, that's not the racetracks. That's a car rental service. We rented like a car together, man, like after we got off the plane and shit. Oh, hey, Carl, brother, man. Hey, dude, do you believe it? And so now they got Carl on the phone, and he's like, yeah, I don't believe it, man. My stomach is sick. Like, you don't touch women that are married like that. You know what I mean? So this is the reunion, right? Part 1. And at this point in time, everyone on the cast has watched the show, right? They've watched season 10, except for Amanda and West, which you'll find out later, okay? And they've already talked, obviously, per this scene right here. And Carl was saying to Kyle that after watching the show back, that he saw that the way that West was touching Amanda and kind of handling her, he thought was very touchy-feely and very inappropriate, especially since she's a married woman, right? And that's supposedly supposed to be his friend. And then Jesse chimes in, because don't forget, they're all on a three-way. And Jesse's like, yeah, but you also don't fuck your friend's wife. Yeah, of course. And then Mia says in the background, while they're still together, also. And Lindsay's like, dope, that part. And then Jesse's like, dude, this is so fucked up, man. And then Carl says, have you guys talked to Sierra at all? And Mia says, well, I'm like in California, but like I can take the red eye like tonight and come like right away. And then Carl says, yeah, can someone go check on Sierra? Because I'm fucking worried, man. Our entire group of friends, like the lies and the deceit. Skirt! And this is where Lindsay's like, okay, so when did this start? And so Mia says, at minimum, like the second week of January, they were together. And then Kyle's like, dude, I heard from a good source that it was as early as June 2025. And then Carl's like, this is insane. And then Kyle says, dude, like I spoke to Amanda last night and she said it started like 2 months ago. Mia's like, that's fucking bullshit. And then Jesse says, well, there's definitely lies being told. And that was March. And so now that brings us to April 23rd, 2026, Reunion Day. And so everybody's there. And, you know, this is the part where they all get ready and get dressed and all that. And they're all in their dressing rooms and all of that. And Carl goes, dude, I cannot even believe this is the first time that I see West and Amanda on the same door. So I guess they're sharing a dressing room. And are we surprised? No. And so Carl says to KJ, he's like, yeah, you know, I've been doing this show for 10 years since day one, and I've never encountered a situation like this. This is tough. And I can't even believe they're like throwing it in our faces, like the baseball game and everything like that. Can you believe it? So this was a moment, wasn't it, guys? Huh? Yeah. I mean, the nerve of them to go to a Yankees game, which is my hometown, by the way. versus Kansas City Chiefs or Royals or whatever, right? And they're kissing on a teleprompter, all right? Not to mention she's freshly separated out of a marriage, and she's kissing one of her really good friends' exes that she shares on a reality show. And then people were like reading their lips, you know what I mean, to see what they were saying to each other. And, and it looks like she's saying, act like you like me. That was great. And KJ's like, hey, man, I was supposed to be at that baseball game. And Carl's like, well, how come you didn't go? And KJ's like, yeah, we're not friends anymore. That's why. And then here's the icing on the cake, because on the same day that they went to that game was also the same day that Sierra Miller was on the cover of Glamour magazine. I mean, what the fuck? Who are these people? What are they, gremlins? I mean, say it with me. With friends like this, who needs enemies? That's right. And then Shithead walks in, and Amanda's already there. And she's like, oh my God, hi. Yeah, like, can you believe this? You know, I don't know if it's like, if I'm nervous or if it's like this super tight corset. And West is like, yeah, it's probably both, dude. Hey, how are you feeling? Are like the shrooms kicking in yet? Because like I'm feeling it. Dude, I feel like super zen right now, okay? Yeah, I bet you do. And so now we get to Sierra's room. And see, this is the part of the show where Andy kind of goes around to all the dressing rooms and checks in with everybody. And of course, he's got to check in with Sierra. And so he comes in and he's asking her how she's doing. As if she can even answer that. You know what I mean? It's like, and I have to say, I know you guys have already watched this, but didn't she, I mean, the way she handled this with such poise and grace and strength, I mean, I couldn't do it. Okay? I might just choke a bitch. Yeah. I might just come out of my dress, fly across the stage, and kick that bitch to the moon. Yeah. And then Andy says, well, who do you feel the most let down by, West or Amanda? And of course, Sierra says Amanda, because West already showed his true self several times, but Amanda never did. And so Andy says, well, if there's one question, if there was one thing you'd like to ask the two of them, what would that be? And Andy, we're about to have a reunion, okay? She can ask all the questions she wants. But anyway, Sierra answers. She says, just simply, why? Hello, why? And so here's Wes and Amanda, and they're just chilling in their dressing room, awaiting the doom that lies ahead. And they look nice, calm, and cool, right? Yeah, because they're on a bunch of drugs. That's why, they're on a bunch of drugs so they don't have to feel, and so they can get through this as quickly and painless as possible. And then here comes Andy, and he's like, hi, guys. How do you think this is going to go for you two? And so Wes says nothing. And Amanda says, yeah, Andy, it's just like, the truth is out there now, And so, but there's just like so many rumors. Oh my God, there's just so many. And so I just have to shut that down. And then Andy's like, okay, so then how do you feel about seeing Sierra? And Amanda's like, yeah, there's so many feelings, and so I'm just feeling like a lot of like Wes, help me out. What's that word?
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Like, what's it? Like guilt. Yeah, and like that's my friend, And so it kills me to know that like I caused her any pain. Does that make sense? Or did I say that right? Andy's like, no. But you guys seem really calm, Yeah. All right. So I'll see you out there then, I guess. Okay. And then Amanda and Wes is like, all right, so that wasn't that bad. And Amanda's like, oh, it's going to get so much worse. But you seem pretty chill. I'm fucking flying. Yeah, I'm away with the fairies. They've invited me, and I don't know where I am. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she looks pretty fucking high. You know what I mean? Those are some good fucking drugs, Amanda. Can I have some? What? No? Okay. And then here's Kyle and Sierra talking, and Kyle's like, "Hey, Sierra, man, how you doing? How you holding up?" And Sarah's like, "Oh, Kyle, I just want to say I'm sorry. Like, I think I really underestimated you this summer and like what you were going through, and I just feel really bad now. Like, I don't know, and I just wanted to apologize. And like, I know you're really going through a lot right now, you know, and so am I." That part right there, Sierra, okay? And so now you know that, like, it wasn't just me getting, like, drunk and, like, fighting every night, okay? I had, like, a reason, all right? And so, and speaking of that, I don't think I'm not gonna drink tonight. Oh, that's good. Yeah, you shouldn't. Is that the Loverboy non-alc in your hand? Yeah, I think so. But listen, Sierra, we're gonna get through this, okay? Come here. We're gonna get through this together, okay? And then over in Jesse's dressing room, right before they hit the stage, Jesse finds out that there's a West dick pic going around. And Kyle's like, "It's not a good dick pic." And then Carl chimes in and he's like, "Who does it flaccid?" So apparently there's a dick pic of West going around. Why? I have no idea. And why is it flaccid or limp? I don't know that either. Let's move on. So now everybody's like getting to their seats on the stage, and Lindsay walks in like this amazing red dress or whatever. And so Andy's like, "Lindsay, why are you wearing a revenge dress?" And Lindsay's like, "Well, I had to make up for Kyle because he couldn't wear it." And what she's referring to is this picture right here. Which is obviously an AI Photoshop picture of Kyle wearing the famous revenge dress that Ariana Madix wore in the Vanderpump Rules reunion when the whole Scandival thing happened, when Tom Sandoval cheated on her with Rachel. Yes, we all remember. And Kyle's like, "Yeah, Andy, you know, I wish I could pull it off, but like, you know, because I had like the mullet back then, you know, it would have been cool." Oh, and FYI, Carl said to Kyle, he was like, "You know, you actually look pretty good in that dress, Kyle." You know? And if you guys are really true fans of Summer House, I'm going to test you right now. Carl said a little story a while back, a while back, and I'm just going to leave it there. I'm just going to leave it there. And you know what? Drop down in the comments if anybody knows what that story was, okay? You know what I'm talking about. I think you do. If you're a true fan, you will. Anyway, just testing. Anyway, so he takes a little selfie with the guys. And he's like, "Yeah, guys, remember this moment because, yeah, this is the calm before the storm." And here comes the storm. Sorry, guys. This is like not funny, but hilarious, okay? So here comes Amanda. And then right away, here's something that happened that gave me a little bit of an itch. You know, it was a little prickly, as I like to say. And that is that Lindsay compliments Amanda. She's like, "I like the butter yellow. It's very nice." And I'm like, well, don't compliment her, Lindsay. You know what I mean? I mean, you don't have to insult her. You don't have to be mean. But don't fucking compliment her. You know? Just saying. But Andy can do it because he's the host. So he's like, "Amanda, you look very beautiful." And Amanda's like, "Oh my God, thank you, Andy." So Amanda was the storm, and now we got the hurricane. Yes, here comes West. "And you hit me like a hurricane." You know that song by Luke Combs? Anyway, it's a country song. Anyway, so here comes the hurricane. I mean, West. And then, look at Kyle. Oh, shit. Dude, this wasn't meant to be funny, but it totally is. It's like, come on. Look at the facial expressions, man. He's like, uh-oh, here he comes. And then Andy's like, "So, hey, West, how you doing? Good to see you. Glad you can join us." And West is like, yeah, I got here. Wait, I'm fine. Wait, what was the question? Oh, Here she comes, the queen of the night, looking absolutely fantastic in that half dress or whatever that is. She looks amazing. And we have to get the reaction of West when she walks by. Check this out. And you can tell by that look and those reactions that they know that she looks damn good. That's right. And then in true West fashion, he does something fucking weird and bizarre where he starts to make like this weird sound while they're waiting. He's like doing like a like something like that. It's just, anyway, you see, check it out. I don't fucking know. Really? Oh my God. So that's what we're doing now. So she went from being the mom to Kyle to now she's West's mom. You can't write this, I'm telling you. And then it gets worse. It gets stranger because Wes is like, so guys, FYI, I just found out that there is a dick pic of me going around. So just so you guys know. And Jesse's like, yeah, I have it right here. You want to see it? Yeah, dude, let me see it. But tell me first, am I like hard in it or am I soft or like what's it look like? And then Andy he's like, we haven't even started yet, and I got to hear about your limp dick? No, thanks. And then Amanda's like, oh my God, really? Let me see. Oh my God. And Wes is like, yeah, that's me, all right. Yeah, you're going to admit to it? Okay. And wow, what a place to start the reunion, huh? That's a first. And so here's Andy, and he's doing his introduction. And how many reunions has Andy done now? I mean, including everything from every franchise, from the Housewives to the Summer House to the Southern Charm. I mean, how many freaking reunions? Andy must be like on autopilot at this point. You know what I mean? I mean, there isn't a scandal he hasn't heard, pretty much. And so Andy's like, welcome to the Summer House Reunion, season 2345. Whatever. And so he does his introductions and he starts with Sierra. And so he's like, hey, Sierra, how you doing? You look absolutely stunning, which is no shock to anyone. And she's like, yeah, thanks, Andy. I'm good. I mean, I'm as good as I can be. And then Andy says, so Sierra, how does it feel to have an overwhelming pour of love and support from the fans and the viewers and the whole entire Bravo universe? Oh, and not to mention, congratulations on getting Dancing with the Stars. So I'm sensing a pattern here, or maybe a rite of passage. So you get cheated on, and then you get a gig on Dancing with the Stars. And then Love Island. Oh, yeah, which, by the way, Sierra now also has a gig on Love Island. She does like the After Sun or something like that, which obviously we know the host is now Ariana Madix. And she got cheated on from Vanderpump Rules and et cetera, yada, yada, yada. And so everybody claps, and except for Wes and Amanda. Look at the miserable motherfuckers. Anyway, and so Sierra says, yeah, Andy, obviously it's been really hard. And, you know, like you said, it's just everybody in the Bravo universe has reached out to me and been supportive. But I just really appreciate the fans and like their love and their words of encouragement has really gotten me through. So I'm just really thankful and appreciative. And Andy's like, yeah, that's great. So, hey, Kyle. Yeah, how you doing? So I kind of thought you were going to be the villain this season. And so how does it feel that you're not the biggest problem in the room right now? Right. Because this is the problem, the biggest problem in the room right now. Oh, God. And Kyle's like, yeah, I've been in and out of the hot seat many times over the years, Andy, and I don't know what the hell this is. I've never even been on this side of the room. And then Andy's like, yeah, so that brings me to Amanda. And so, Amanda, hi, Amanda. And how are you feeling tonight? Are you okay? And Sierra's like, if I could speak for her, she's probably thinking, I know this motherfucker didn't just ask her if she's okay. And then here's Amanda's response. And she's like, yes, Andy, I am prepared to own up to everything that I did wrong and to apologize to the people that I need to apologize to, like Sierra and Kyle. And I want to explain myself and what went down. Like a fucking robot. And then Sierra's like, well, I'm glad she can at least say our names this time. And check out the attitude on Amanda, right? She's like, huh? What? What did you say? And Sierra's like, at least you said our names this time. And she's like, ah. And like I said, you're better than me, Sierra, because I would have been like, you heard me, bitch. And so Andy's like, so West, your first reunion was the last time, which was 2 years ago. So this is your second reunion. And how is it going to be different this time? And West is like, well, Andy, there's a lot of things to explain. And I just hopefully maybe we can clear stuff up. Yeah? Is that what you're looking for? Is that it? No, not really. And so, hi, Carl. How are you? Would you confirm or deny that you are a mess right now? And Carl's like, yeah, hey, Andy. Yeah, I guess you could say I am a mess right now, because obviously I've been on this show a long time and I'm very disappointed. I've never seen anything like this. And yeah, I just thought that we held ourselves to a higher standard, And then look at the smirk on West's face when he said that. He's like, yeah, right. And fuck you, West, because Summer House was at a higher standard, and you had to come in and Tom Sandoval it up, and fuck everything up. And then Carl basically makes that exact point. He says the reason why we hold ourselves to a higher standard is because, we do have fucked up shit that happens on this show, but we're honest. We take accountability. We own up to what we've done wrong and we talk about it and we show up. And that's the difference. And I think we really owe it to our viewers to be really raw and real and honest here. And I hope that's what happens here today. And Andy's like, uh-huh. And so, Jesse, how are you feeling today? Yeah, hey, Andy. It just hit me on the way over here, that I'm just really sad. But it's just our friend group is destroyed. Yeah. And so I just hope that we can find some common ground and somehow move forward here. So then Andy turns his attention to the newbies. And he's like, hey, Bailey. Hey, Mia. And Bailey, don't worry. You're not going to get broken up with here today. And I forget why that comment has relevance. Because, she got broken up with on Valentine's Day or something weird like that. Anyway, and then he says, hey, Mia, you look gorgeous. And I heard you met Rihanna. And if she had words of wisdom for you today, what do you think she would say? And Mia's like, thanks, Andy. Well, first of all, I just want to say that when I met Rihanna, the first thing she said was that I'm a bad bitch. Mm-hmm. Yes. And that she loves me. She's a fan. And I think that would apply here today. And wow, she met Rihanna? My God, this show is very powerful, huh? And I really wish that I would have known or we got to hear what Lindsay whispered to Mia here, right? And the reason why this is important is because I did hear some online chatter gossip about the fact that when Mia met Rihanna, Rihanna also had some words about Amanda, which we're not going to find out because that would be crazy to bring in Rihanna into the Summer House drama, but just saying. Oh, and by the way, while we're on the subject of fake celebrity news drama, I think you guys all know that Jennifer Lawrence is a huge fan of the show, and I just wanted to FYI tell you guys that that was some bullshit, okay? About the whole Jennifer Lawrence cracking the code about the reunion leak, okay? I don't believe that shit. You guys can believe it if you want, but yeah, that's just a bunch of Bravo bullshit, okay? And I just think it was a very poor job at covering up the Bravo antics of it all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you get me. And then Andy turns his attention to KJ, and he's like, "Hey, KJ, hi, how you doing? This is your first reunion, and so how you feeling?" And KJ's like, "Yeah, Andy, hi, I'm sad, you know? I mean, I consider these people like my new family, you know, my family, and yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of fraudulent activity going on." And then, of course, when KJ says the word fraudulent, West, like, frowns or whatever, as if he's innocent. And I mean, look at these two. Look at them, okay? I mean, they look like robots, all right? Amanda Bot and West Bot, okay? And so if I could speak for the facial expressions of the robots here, okay, they would probably be saying, "Fuck you, KJ." You know, and don't you just hate? This is like my worst pet peeve. Don't you hate when someone does something wrong to you and then gets mad and turns around like as if you did something wrong to them? It's the worst. I can't. And then Andy's like, "Hey, Ben, how you doing? How's the missus?" And Ben is like, 10 out of 10 there, Andy. And I don't have no idea what that means. I mean, it's kind of obvious what it means, but I don't care to. Anyway. And so finally we start the reunion. And Andy's like, "All right. Well, I have to start off by addressing the pink elephant in the room." "And what pink elephant, Andy?" "Oh, you mean this one?" "Yes. Uh-huh." Sorry, I like to have a little fun sometimes. So it all started back in February, not too long ago, of this year, 2026. West and Amanda were spotted holding hands at an event. And at first, it just seemed like silly, ridiculous, wild rumors. And when I asked Wes about those rumors on Watch What Happens Live, his tepid denials, ooh, big words there, Andy, soon became wild speculation.
What was your reaction to the rumors of you and Amanda? I searched the streets a little bit, you know. If it's not clear, that's a very important person to me, and I, care about her.
So he didn't deny it, and he said that he really cared about her and that she was an important person. Okay. So there's that. And then I also want to point out that he's wearing the horsehair tie that his, at the time, supposed girlfriend, Mia, gave to him to wear on the show to promote her business. And then, just 7 days after that, West and Amanda put out a joint statement on March 31st about their romance. And of course, that was followed by an onswarm of confusion and a lot of questions. And so, Sierra, when did you suspect that something might be going on between West and Amanda? And immediately, Sierra is on it. She's got her timeline, she's got her receipts, and she's like, "Andy, the first day would be January 17th. And I'll let her take it from here.
Went to call Amanda to invite her out to drinks with me and Mia, and her location was at West's house. And so I had called when she didn't answer, and then texted and didn't answer.
Look at this bitch here, okay? I mean, can you believe this fucking bitch? Did you see her shaking her head? I mean, really? Okay. And then Amanda says, "I called you back in like 30 minutes, okay?" And Sierra's like, "Yeah, that's the only reason why you did that is because Mia got you in a group chat with us just to see if you would respond, and you did." Well, I just thought, her location is at West's house, and I'm calling her and texting her, and she's not answering me back, but she'll answer a group chat. I thought, that's weird. Okay, but like Sierra, like... Shut up, bitch. I'm speaking, okay? Ugh, my God. So anyway, yeah, I just thought it was strange because I'm like, why is she at West's house? Okay, because he was like there for me all summer, Sierra, okay? Yeah, and where was I? I was there for you all summer. What are you talking about? And then Amanda says, Well, yeah, you were there for me, okay? Like, also there for me. You were also there. But, like, Wes asked me to, like, go for a drink. You know what I mean? Like, and then Sierra's like, oh, come on, Amanda. How many times did I call you to, like, hang out or talk or, like, just check in with you to see how you're doing? But no, you were MIA. No, she wasn't MIA, Sierra. She was MIW. Missing in Westville. And then Amanda's like, oh my God, I only hung out with him like twice, okay? And then Sierra says, shut the fuck up, okay? I called you so many times to go out and do stuff, all right? So that you wouldn't be home alone by yourself. And you know what? I'm just going to stop them right here. Okay? Because this is too nice for me. Yeah. I wouldn't be talking about who was going to hang out with who and this and that. You fucked my ex, all right, bitch? Let's get to that. And then Mia chimes in and she's like, you know, I find it interesting that you would prioritize your friendship with West over Sierra. And Amanda says, okay, Mia, okay, like I was out on my own, freshly separated from my ex, and I just wanted to like go out, okay? Yeah, I think you're missing the point, Amanda. Okay, you could have gone out with Sierra, all right? It's not about going out, but instead you went out with West. And then Sierra says, and not only did you two go out, but you went gallivanting all over New York City to every bar, you know, and breadcrumbing people by posting it on Instagram every other day. And then Amanda's like, okay, fine, but like, it's not just West. Like, I hang out with other people and I don't just post every time I go out or like things that I do. I just post like when I go out and things that I do. Yeah. And then Carl kind of chimes in and he's just like, yeah, but the majority of those friends are West's friends. And then she gets real snippy here. I'll let her say it.
Saying yes to everything.
Who is
Friends with West? No, not friends with West. Fuck off. Shut the fuck up, Amanda. You don't want to cross this fucking bridge with me. You really don't. I don't see your man sticking up for you now, huh?
Listen, when Amanda said fuck off, I would have buried that bitch in the flower bed behind her, okay? Yeah. And West, where you at? You just gonna let her get buried? And then Andy says to Jesse, he says, you know, a lot of people were thinking that you were like kind of like the Tom Shorts of this situation, right? And that maybe you knew something, but you didn't want to snitch on your good friend. And Jesse's like, no, because I asked Amanda if something was going on, and she says no. And then I asked West if something was going on, and he said no. But Andy, I did make a little timeline, in case you're wondering. And so here it is. And yeah, so I have it right here. And then West finally chimes in, and he's like, okay, all right, like, yeah, I lied to, like, everybody here, okay? And so, like, I know that's wrong, and I'm, like, sorry, okay? And then Sierra says, you know, it's not even just that. It's not even just that you're a liar. It's just you're the most fraudulent person here sitting on this couch. And then West is like, how so? Like, why do you say that? And she's like, probably because you live a different life on camera than you do off. And you have a girlfriend. Mia is her name? And West is like, what? No, that's not true. I was just seeing somebody. And then Lindsay breaks out the receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots. Nah, that's Heather Gay from Salt Lake City. And so Lindsay says, no, Mia thought she was your exclusive girlfriend. And in fact, that night on March 24th, when you were on Watch What Happens Live, she stayed at your house and she gave you that tie. And of course, as I said before, this is the famous horsehair tie that West was wearing that Mia had given to him. And by the way, do we think it's hot or do we think it's not? No, I mean, I don't know. I kind of like it, actually. I think it's unique, obviously. It's different. And, you know, I don't know. I wouldn't say it looks good on West, but I don't know. Maybe somebody else. Well, if anything, there you go, Mia. There's your 5 seconds in the sun, you know? I mean, if anything, it's free promotion for your business. At least you got something out of the gig. And so then Andy's like, so Amanda, did you know that he was dating this woman? And I mean, were you okay with that? And Amanda's like, yeah, of course, Andy. Like, we had a conversation about it. And like, yeah. And then here comes my favorite line of the entire reunion of all three parts. And it comes from Mia. Okay? Take it away, Mia.
Amanda, why are you doing this? Like, why? You went from being married, and I'm not saying your relationship was perfect, but you went from being married to being one of West Side bitches? That's crazy. Okay. This is unnecessary.
She said you went from married to a side bitch. Iconic, man. There you go, Mia. And there's your second season, signed, sealed, and delivered right there. Yes, good job, girl. And so Andy's like, all right, well, now I want to talk about the statement. Okay? And Wes is like, yeah, it was super rushed, you know, because everything was just like coming at us at once. And it was just like wildfire. Everybody was like talking about us. And so we had to get something out, you know. And because of the situation, it was so complicated and there was like so many layers and things. And then Carl chimes in and he's like, exactly. Was that not enough layers for you guys to be like, we shouldn't do this? And then Sierra says, she's like, so you guys, this wasn't a drunken hookup then. So you guys actually sat down and you had like a conversation and everything and you still decide to do it? That is weird as fuck. Yeah. Sure it was. I agree. And so anyway, do you guys remember that little audio leak that was leaked right before the reunion aired? Yeah, that never made the reunion. Okay, because I watched all three parts and I heard the audio leaks and they don't match up. So obviously there was some editing that was done, right? So in this next clip, I feel like Amanda was trying to use one of Sierra's lines in her confessionals during the season against her. And that line was when Sierra was talking about Wes, she said, well, you can't help who you like.
Because what, sometimes you can't help who you like and who you are attracted to.
Pause. See, that was the line when she said, you can't help who you like, right? Or who you were attracted to. And what I'm going to slow it down for you, but what Amanda says next was in the audio leak and it was taken out. So basically she says, you can't help who you like and you can't help who you're attracted to. That's something that you said in your confessional. And then Sierra responded, well, I was actually single at the time, right? And so they took that out. And the new clip is, you know, you actually can help it. When you're married, you actually can help it. And so I don't know why they re-edited that or why they took that out. There's speculation and there's rumors that they did that to somehow protect Amanda, I guess, or something like that. I don't know. It's weird, you know, but I guess we'll never know because it's not in here, guys, you know. And this is the Peacock uncensored extended version. And there is a guy here on YouTube. I forget his name. I think it's like Ryan something or whatever, but he does like a breakdown of this, of the audio leaks versus what was actually shown. But I don't have the audio leak, so I can't do that kind of a breakdown. But what I can tell you is that it's not in here. All right? But you can go try and find that or check it out, okay? Because it was interesting. So anyway, getting back to the clip, I'm going to slow it down for you. But this is to the part where Amanda says, that was something you said. And then she said, in your confessional. They cut that out, okay? So here it is.
Attracted to that was you actually
Can't help it.
So you
When you're married, you actually can't help it.
So you
I wasn't married anymore, Sierra.
And so that's it right there, guys. I really tried to do my best with the edit because they did an excellent job of editing, of course. Bravo. You know, but please go find the audio leaks somewhere, right? And you'll see it was right after she said the word something. Okay, so she said that was something. And then after that was when she said, that was something you said in your confessional, all right? So they took all of that out, and I tried my best to show you. So I hope I did a good job. Anyway, moving on. And so Amanda's like, I wasn't married anymore, Sierra, okay? And Sierra's like, okay, well, have either one of you actually filed legally? And Amanda's like, yeah, I sought out legal counsel and they have reached out to Kyle and then we haven't heard back since. So by the state of New York, you're still married, bitch, okay? And then Carl chimes in and he's like, actually, the state of New Jersey. Whatever, okay? You're still married, bitch. And then Amanda's like, well, I wasn't going to like stay home, okay, Sierra? Like, I wasn't just going to do that. And Amanda, shut the fuck up, okay? That's not what anybody's saying. And I can speak for Sierra, and she says it next anyway. And that is that nobody expected you to be home. It has nothing got to do with that. You could have been out every single day. It doesn't matter. You could fuck anybody, right? Just not West, right? You could have fucked Andy, for crying out loud. You could have fucked anybody on this stage other than West, and it still would have been okay. You know what I'm saying? You know, kind of. And so here's Sierra making that exact point. She's like, it's not about staying home, Amanda. It's not about being celibate. You could have fucked any guy in New York City. It's not about that. You just chose the one guy that you know broke my heart and time again played with me over and over again. And that's who you choose? No, I didn't choose. It just happened. And then Sierra's like, no, it didn't. You freaking did it on purpose, bitch, okay? Because you're a fucking snake in the grass. And look, there's the face. There's that face. You remember a while back when Danielle called Amanda out for being the most untrustworthy one? She had that face. That's the same look. Uh-huh. And then she has it here. You know, it's the, me? What did I do? No, not me. And then Andy hits her with the question. He's like, so what was going through your mind when Sierra came to you and confronted you and asked you if this was going on and you said no? And then Amanda's silent for a moment. And then she's like, well, Andy, I knew that the truth was going to come out eventually. And so, yeah, I was just kind of like scared, you know? And then Andy's like, okay, but you do realize that it only takes a casual viewer of this show to see that you didn't put the names of the people that you wronged in your statement. And then Amanda's like, oh my God, like, have you guys ever heard of like damned if you do, damned if you don't? Have you ever heard of that? And yes, I have, Amanda. Okay, it's called damned if you don't. All right? Because in this situation, of course you can't go wrong by putting the names of the people that you wronged in your statement. Like, what? And Andy's like, did someone help you out with that statement? Like a PR person or somebody? Yeah, ChatGPT, Andy. Which is not true, but maybe it is. Who knows? But no. And I agree with Sierra because she says, even ChatGPT is smarter than that. Okay? Even ChatGPT knows to put the names in. And then Andy says, someone from somewhere has asked a question. I'm sorry. I don't know why that's funny. But yeah, he's reading a comment that somebody made or whatever. And I think it's like Amy from Missouri or Keisha from Canada or Renee from freaking Jacksonville. Well, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. And the question was for Carl. And the question is that when he broke up with Lindsay and the public came after him really hardcore and he stayed quiet. So does he think that it was a good idea for Amanda and West to come out with a statement? And then I want to show this clip because Carl's response is amazing and he has a great analogy. And I'm a person of analogies, just in case you know or you didn't know. Yeah, I'm an analogy girl. Okay, I love me an analogy, and this is a good one. So here it goes.
I mean, terrible move, but if you're gonna do it, apologize to Sierra and Kyle. Period.
I apologize
In the
privately.
statement publicly, because
100%.
Who's the statement for? Like, why did you put a statement out?
Everyone was asking for it to be addressed.
It's like singing happy birthday without using someone's name. Like, you put a statement out because
I
you
texted
fucked up,
Sierra
but you didn't address the people that
separately.
you fucked up.
I addressed them and I texted every single one of you on this stage apologizing.
Oh, hell yeah. That was a great analogy. Good one, Carl. Yep, he said, it's like singing happy birthday to somebody and not using their name. Good one. And so Amanda talks about how she texted everybody individually and said her apologies. And KJ chimes in because he was like, you know what, Amanda, at least you text me because Wes didn't even text me. Which is fucked up, you know what I mean? And so Andy asks Wes, he said, why didn't you text KJ? And Wes immediately was like, well, I didn't like text Bailey or Levi either, you know? I just like try to focus on the people that I hurt, you know what I mean? And excuse me, hello. First of all, Bailey and Levi, I mean, Levi isn't even there. Okay? That's first of all. Second of all, if I'm not mistaken, was it not you that brought KJ on the show? I mean, wasn't he introduced as your friend? Just saying. And then Andy says, I mean, Amanda, you text Sierra an apology, but I mean, you knew that it would be like a conversation at least, right? And Amanda's like, well, I would have loved to have had the chance to like talk to her. Yeah, that's fucking bullshit. Okay, Andy. And so let me show you what the communication really was, all right? So I'm going to show you the text messages from when these rumors first dropped. And so I didn't hear from her that whole day. And so I'm just going to read it to you. So she texted me at night, and it was on March 5th. And she said, hi, checking in. The internet is fucking on one right now. And I feel like everything I do is under a microscope. And I can't believe I'm even having to text you this right now. But Wes and I are very much so just friends.
We're even having to discuss this. Yeah. And so, to be clear, you were hooking up at that time. We're talking. 100%. Everything was PG. Everything that was happening between us was PG, and everything started with conversation and emotion.
Why continue to lie? Like, can't you just tell us why things? Like, when did you guys hook up for the first time?
With the guy that I used to anyway.
And I will use Kyle's words, what he just said there. 100% they were hooking up when she sent that text to Sierra. And so she lied to her, and she just admitted it a few seconds ago, you know? And so get that fucking smug look off of your face. Like Sierra did something wrong to you. You are in the wrong here, Missy, okay? Like, come on. And so Sierra continues reading the text, and it says, Amanda says, well, duh, but Wes and I are not. I'm sad. We're even having to discuss this. And then Sierra says, so I can expect that there to be no photo or videos coming out? Feels like such a widespread rumor for there to be no veracity to it. And then Amanda says, nothing different than what I've posted myself. People have just seen us together more and more and are being psychos. Huh.
And so I go, okay, so for clarity, since I don't really feel like you're making it clear, you and Wes haven't hooked up, made out, held hands under table, or had sex.
And
I just get a correct.
And I lied. 100% lied.
And then Kyle says, yeah, Andy, like in 5 years, this was the first time that she turns her location off. Like, come on. And then Amanda's like, I don't always share my location like with the two of you, okay? And I'm, what the fuck, man? Like, what are you so angry about? What's up with the dude? You know what I'm saying? It's like, this feels personal. She's like, with the two of you. You know what I mean? And then Lindsay and Mia both say that, yeah, of course you turned your location off because you're at Wes' house. Hello? And then I love when Andy says,
That's how it work out well.
I love Andy for that. It's true. And then Carl says, he goes, yeah, she turned it off because she was doing shady shit. Yep, also true. And then Lindsay's like, well, I would turn it off if I was sleeping with my best friend's ex. And Amanda's like, oh my God, I was not sleeping with West.
So who made the first move? When we were out, I like kind of looked at Amanda and I was like, am I fucking crazy or is there a little something going on here?
Oh, how romantic. Yeah, like, you know, I looked at her, she looked at me, and I was like, am I crazy? Is there like something here, man? Huh?
When was your first kiss?
End of February after brunch.
When did it first happen that you slept together?
Oh, so the brunch that you guys all went out to, that was your first kiss?
That was not your first kiss. Come on. That was more like your 100th kiss, okay? And I love the way they answered. It was like, yeah, at the end of February, or January, December, August, September, October, okay? And it was March, all right? And it was after brunch or dinner, or was it breakfast and lunch? It was lunch. It was lunch. All right, sold, and we have a winner. Okay, here's round 2.
When did you first sleep together?
After the statement.
Did you sleep together? When was it? Was it 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock? Was it 1:30? Was it 1:45, 1:45? Was it 1:45? Was it 2 o'clock? Was it 2 o'clock p.m.? Was it 2 o'clock 30? Was it 2:30? Was it 2:30 going once, going twice? Was it 3 o'clock going once, going twice? Was it last summer? Was it this summer? Was it before the statement? Was it after the statement going once, going twice? Was it this season? Was it last summer? Last summer, sold. It was last summer. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I thought of an auction when I was watching this, but it just kind of gave me that kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? No? Okay. It's just because of like all the timelines and the dates and the when and the where and the why. And never mind.
I mean, not that night, but
So it wasn't that night. No, it wasn't that night. It wasn't a Friday night. No, it was a Saturday night. It wasn't Saturday night. It was Sunday. No, it was a Monday night. Monday night. No, it was a Tuesday night. Tuesday night. No, it was a Wednesday night. Wednesday night. No, it was a Thursday night. Friday was a Friday night. Sold. Look at Ben's face. He's so confused. He's like, what the hell is going on here?
Also, to clear up, this isn't like a sex scandal. It was like hanging out.
Yeah, we know you didn't
kisses.
fuck until recently, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but Linz, you know they've been fucking since last summer. So then Andy says, Sierra, please finish reading what you were saying before your text messages with Amanda. And then Sierra's like, yep, got it right here. Saturday, March 7th. This is what she says to me. Hey, do you want to like talk or something? Because I'm like super in my head about our last conversation. And I would hate the thoughts of like things being like weird between us. And especially about like West. That's like so silly to me. And then Amanda interrupts and she's like, okay, fine. All right. Maybe I should have been honest from like the get-go. All right. But like, I was just so confused and I was so lost and like, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know. I was so confused, and I had these feelings for someone that I shouldn't have feelings for. And so you remove yourself, bitch. Okay. That's what you do. That's what a normal and a true friend would have done. Removed themselves.
So I'm not allowed to pursue something that I feel strongly about.
Well, at that point, you clearly don't feel strongly if you're trying to understand.
Are we morally bankrupt? Like, literally, no. So no one in this world has ever been in a situation like this before. In high school, maybe. We're in our 30s.
Look at Andy.
You
Really? Seriously? Are you crazy? Come on, what is wrong with this girl? Seriously, is that like an earpiece in her ear? Like, paging Amanda Bot, telling her what to say or something? Like, what is wrong with her? Seriously, it's like, I know 30s is still young, but it's old enough to like not act like a 14-year-old. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why is she sounds like a fucking, like she's in high school. It's crazy. Like, come on, Amanda, you should know better. Now I'm starting to realize why she was with Kyle. Because Kyle's a man child and she's a woman child. I get it now. And then Andy says that he would like to close this portion of the conversation, whatever the hell that means. And he's like, so Sierra, what would you like to get out of this reunion, or what would you hope for to get from this reunion? And Sierra's like, well, Andy, after all that, well, now all I have to do is just go over the details before I bury them in the ground and get rid of the shovel. And that's right, girl, as you should. I'm even a step ahead of you. I already got the pickup truck and the 2 shovels. I'll pick you up at dawn. Let's go. And oh, look who it is. It's Levi. Yeah, okay. She's coming in a little late, but all right. And everybody's like, oh, you look so beautiful. And Andy's like, oh, you're wearing soft bar green, whatever the hell that means. I guess it's like in honor of Carl's soft bar. I don't understand. And then Levi's like, okay, guys, so like, what did I miss? Um, you missed an entire season. Yeah. So why don't you just go ahead and sit on down and make yourself comfortable? So then this is the part where Andy kind of talks about the newbies a little bit and about how they were a breath of fresh air and, you know, it wasn't all bad and they had a really good summer and they had a lot of fun. And so he does kind of like a montage of all the parties that they had, which I'm not going to do. I mean, you already saw the season, you know. They did have some good parties, though, minus the Vegas one with Jesse. But yeah, they had some really good parties. And so he just kind of talks about that a little bit. And then he says that Daryl will be joining them in a little while. But first, he's like, hi, Levi. How was your summer? And what was it like coming into a house full of strangers and all of them single guys and gals? Andy, you forgot Amanda and Kyle. But I see how you can forget that. Anyway, she's like, yeah, Andy, it was super fun. I loved all the parties. Yeah, it was like a lot of fun. But yeah, I just don't think any of the guys in the house was like feeling me, you know? And then Andy's like, well, sometimes, Levi, friendship is more valuable. And did anyone else catch that shade? No, because the cast sure didn't. But I did, because you get it? Like Amanda and West were friends first, yeah? Okay, anyway. And then that's it for Levi. I mean, literally. That was it. He asked her like another question, but it was about Bailey. So then he turns his attention over to Bailey and he says, somebody from somewhere is asking a question about how you came in kind of hot at the first dinner. You were crying about your previous relationship or whatever. You know what? Nobody cares. No offense, Bailey. Love you. Bye. Next. Sorry, Bailey. And then Andy turns his attention over to Mia, the beautiful inside and out Mia. And he says, you know, Mia, you quickly became a fan favorite. And, you know, you became fast friends with Sierra, and you guys even live in the same building together? Yeah, we do, Andy. We definitely live in the same building. And yeah, she's my ride or die, you know? I mean, she's my love, she's my support, and it came at a time where I needed it the most, you know? I've had so much loss in my life, and so yeah, she's been an amazing friend to me. And then Andy says, yeah, speaking of loss, you know, we got a lot of messages from the viewers expressing their gratitude about the loss of your beautiful mother, you know, and once again, somebody from somewhere asks Mia that when she went to the medium, was that helpful for her or was it like too hurtful or painful to relive it, I guess? And then Mia says that, yeah, it was helpful. And then it gave her the peace of mind that wherever her mother is, that she's okay. And then, of course, she says that some days are good and some days are bad, you know, but that she wants to try and live the life that she knows her parents would want her to live and that her mom would want her to live, you know. And then, of course, that invokes Andy to ask the question, well, how's your boyfriend, Scott? What's going on with that? And then, of course, Mia says, yeah, we broke up. Yeah. And that wasn't the path for me. And Andy is like, well, who broke up with who? And Mia's like, me, Andy. I'm always the one to be the breaker-upper. And then Andy says, so would you say that you're looking for the one then? And Mia's like, no, I'm just focused on myself, you know, that's all I want to do right now. And I don't think it's healthy to go from one serious relationship to another. And the caption reads, touche. And then Andy's like, so Ben. And Ben's like, huh? What? You called my name? Shit, I forgot I was here. And Andy's like, did you know that Bailey had that big of a crush? You know, and I'm just going to listen. I have no interest in this storyline. It was dumb. I'm just going to stop you there, okay? Yeah. But then Andy asks Bailey a question, which is about another storyline that I don't really care about. But it was when it was Amanda's birthday dinner, you know, the time when Bailey said, accused Ben of wanting to sleep with Amanda, which I actually thought was pretty funny and super awkward. But yeah, I don't really care to go into that either. But just in case you're wondering, I'll give you the Cliff Notes. So basically, she said the reason why she made the comment was because before that, Ben and Amanda had been joking about the skinny dipping incident in Italy. And so that prompted her to make the comment. The end. Next. I'm just kidding. Not really, though. All right, so to give you a little bit more story and a little bit more context, because I know you're going to be like, well, she left out this whole part with Ben and Bailey. All right, well, Bailey just continues to say that, like, she basically doesn't like Ben, okay? And that he's a male chauvinist and she doesn't like the way he talks to women and he talks down to women. And that basically she doesn't really think he was single either and that he was with Sabrina the whole time. Oh, and that she really likes Sabrina, but she thinks he's full of shit. And you know what, Bales? Truth be told, I don't like him either. I don't know. There's just something about him. You know what I mean? I just don't like him. So if they don't bring him back next season, I won't be sad. If there is a next season, you know, if there isn't a next season, then I will be sad. And then Andy says to Carl, you know, what about him and Bailey? And this is another storyline that I don't give a shit about. You know what I mean? It's like, first of all, they have zero chemistry. I said this in my other videos. He's 10 years older. They just, you know what I mean? It's like watching a rock in a wall flirt or something. It's just like, no, it's not for me, okay? And so then, you know, Carl obviously has some nice things to say about her, but basically, you know, they're just friends. And then he goes into how, you know, he's sober and what life is like dating when you're sober and how it's like learning to walk again. So not interested. Sorry, guys. And then Andy talks to KJ, and he's asking him about Mia and Sierra and about how he's called them his sisters for life and how they've been, like, checking in on him and, like, making sure he doesn't get, like, more tattoos and piercings or some shit like that. And then he turns his attention to, like, his mental health, and this prompts KJ to open up about his story. And so Andy says, you know, you've been very vocal about your anxiety, and so how do you feel about how the fans have reacted and about their support for you and all that? And then KJ says that he can't believe he's, like, shocked and overwhelmed at how many people were grateful that he shared and talked about his anxiety. And then he says that in the fall, he had a really bad thing that happened, and so he had to be admitted into the hospital for self-harm. And he was there for a week, and he says that Mia and Sierra came to visit him every day. And then he says that after the hospital, he checked himself into rehab, and that's what solidified it for him. And now he's doing much better. And then he thanks everybody on the stage, and he doesn't exclude anybody, including Wes and Amanda. So that must mean that everybody reached out to him. But I find it interesting that everybody's crying and everybody's getting emotional, especially KJ, of course. But the only one that seems to be stoic and unemotional is freaking Amanda. I mean, look at her. Really? Shit, those must be some good drugs, girl. And then KJ says that through rehab and after rehab, because he's out of rehab now, he got into therapy. And he said that that's really been helping him. And then he found out through therapy that he got diagnosed with bipolar. And so he's been on medication and he's been doing much better. And so, of course, again, he thanks everybody on the stage, but especially he thanks the fans because he said the fans were very supportive instead of being like judgmental. And so he's very appreciative of that. And I think it's extremely admirable, you know what I mean, and commendable, all the words, you know what I mean, because one of the most responsible things you can do in life is take accountability for yourself and your mental health and take care of yourself. You know, there's so many men out there, I hate to say it, that will not go to therapy. And I'm telling you, it's a game changer, okay? It will change your life. It will help you, you know, and how can you ever go wrong with trying to better yourself? Really? honestly. I mean, you shouldn't feel like silly or gay or whatever for trying to fix yourself and trying to help yourself. You know what I mean? Especially for straight men, you know? So kudos to you, KJ. That's amazing, really, honestly. I can't speak enough about it. So yeah, good job, KJ. And you are an incredible example to a lot of people. And you can be helpful to a lot of people by sharing your story. So yeah, great. Good job. So if you or anybody you know is struggling with mental health, please go get help. Seriously, just do it, okay? Stop being a loser today so you can be a winner tomorrow. Something like that. Anyway, so Carl, says how proud of him he is of KJ. And, he said, just keep doing what you're doing, man, and you're going to keep doing really great things. And that is 100% fact. All right, moving on. Oh, and by the way, just one more thing. I think that Carl is a really good example for KJ. You know what I mean? Because he's older, he's been through a lot, and he's sober, and he's been sober for a while now. So I think he can really help KJ, you know what I mean? And kind of take him under his wing and be a good example. So just saying. And then Andy says that all summer long, Sierra has been trying to break down her walls. All the while, she built some walls for herself and bought her grandparents' house. And so he says, so how's that been going? What's the update with your grandparents' home? And what has that meant for you? And stuff like that. And Sierra's like, yeah, it's been great. But the update is that it's in renovation. I mean, naturally, right? I mean, it's an old home, so I can only imagine. But she said that she wants to kind of restore it and keep some of the original planned ideas that her father had, right? But then she said that her mother kind of stepped in and, is really liking the whole renovation thing. So she said, you know what? Why don't you just do it? Fuck a contractor, And so then Andy's like, so does your father now know that you've purchased the home? Because as you know, and I said it in my recap, she had to purchase the home, through the back door and the side gate, and you know what I mean, in order to avoid conflict. And Sierra's like, you see, Andy, what had happened was... No. And Sierra says yes, that her father now knows that she purchased the home, because obviously it was her father's parents' home, right? So anyway, she says that he's not too happy about it, right? Because he just thinks it's a bad investment, and he doesn't understand why she wants to hold on to the house. And so she says that actually her mother told him before the season started, so that he wouldn't be blindsided or shocked, But she said that, it really means something to her, and she can't explain to her dad why it's important and this and that. And then she says that life is short, you know what I mean? And that she doesn't know how much time she has with her parents and that kind of thing. And so she wants to bond with her mother through this process and create new memories, and possibly for her kids in the future. Which, if you want my opinion, which I know you do, I think... I don't know about this, Sierra, I mean, I get the whole thing and, but I think that if you're talking about having a family and creating new memories and stuff like that, it's like you kind of have to have a man in that picture. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it's like to create children, unless you want to do it on your own, which is fine. You would have to find somebody that would fit into that equation, that would want to share in that with you, in that particular home, in that particular area of North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Just saying, that's my opinion. So even though it's a nice idea, I have a hunch that in the future, she's either going to end up renting it out to somebody or whatever. I don't think she's going to end up living in that home. Okay, just saying. I mean, she's a superstar for one. Okay, and so I don't know. I just don't see her living in North Carolina. Okay, and I kind of agree with her dad on this one. I'm sorry, Sierra, to burst your bubble. Okay, or kill your dream. But yeah, And then her father told her, he was like, I grew up in that home. But Sierra was like, yeah, so did I, though. But then Andy says that he loves the idea and he just thinks it's amazing, and it warms his heart that it's something between her and her mom, that something is being created here and they're forming a new bond, you know. And it also forces them to spend more time together, right? And however, though, renovation, I don't know. I might kill my mom. You know what I'm saying? That's not quite the bonding activity. But anyway, I get it. I get it. And so anyway, I want to show this clip because obviously it's very important. And so here it is.
Sierra Sydney from Belmar, New Jersey said, not a question, but as a black woman, I need to say it's a feat to go from being capital to owning capital. Only 5 or so generations separated from slavery. I hope you're proud of yourself. Awesome. Yeah, I'm proud of you. Thanks. I see how hard you work. And you're very humble. I look up to you a lot. I want my younger sisters to be like you. Thanks, KJ.
Oh, that's so sweet, you know? And Sierra deserves to hear that because she's a good person. And everything that was just said about a black woman owning capital is 1000% fact and an understatement, okay? Not to mention that some black women or some black people are actually native to this land. But that's another conversation. And then Andy says to West, he says, how do you feel about her purchasing the home? Because when you two were dating, you know, she shared how important that was for her and her plans and everything. Sierra, not you, not Sierra wanting West to be part of her plans. Oh, girl, no. And so West is like, yeah, Andy, you know, I heard about it through the grapevine, and I actually didn't hear about it until after she had purchased the home. But towards the end of the summer, you know, we ended up talking and she kept me up to speed. By the way, he didn't say congratulations or that he's proud of her or anything. He just said, she kept me up to speed. It's like, listen, okay? It doesn't matter whether you have a girlfriend or whether you're seeing somebody or whatever. It's like the least you can do, just be a decent person, right? And just say you're fucking proud of the girl, at least, you know? Or congratulations would be nice on camera. Thanks. And so Andy's like, why the fuck did you let your walls down and let this guy back into your life? And of course, he didn't say that. That's just the boozy bitch version. Yeah.
I just was like tired of like the energy in the house. Like I wanted us to be able to get along. We were really good friends, best friends at one point in time. But then it got to the point.
Pause. Look at this crummy bitch. Okay. She's probably thinking, oh my God, but West, we're best friends. So what does that mean?
Where I was like, okay, I'm giving KJ advice of like it's better to have loved and lost than never have loved at all. And like, you know.
So then she goes on to say about how she didn't want anyone to think that she's just this hard exterior and that's all she's about, you know? And of course, you know, we already know that she got tired of hating on West. I mean, especially when you live with him, right? For an entire summer. And she said the reason for her hard exterior was because she was just tired of giving people chances to fuck her over. I.e., here we are. Ah, shit. And then, do you think it's possible that Weirdo West can get any weirder? Yes. Yes, he can. Uh-huh.
So that final night of the summer, the two of you made out in the backyard. Yeah, it was like ear stuff.
I'm sorry, say what now? Ear stuff. Shut up.
Ear stuff? Is that what you said? I believe so. Ear stuff, man. Ear like kissing the ears. So I get lobes and stuff.
Really, Amanda? Really? This is your guy? Okay.
The fuck is ear stuff? I'm sorry.
Above your chin, I will get blood flow.
Molly, Amanda, you in danger, girl. Oh, yeah. And so Andy's like, Amanda, did you not know about this kiss at the end of the summer? Did he tell you? And Amanda's like, not to that extent. Yeah, uh-huh. And you say you were just friends at that time, though, Amanda, right? Uh-huh. And you say he's just a friend. And you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you. Hey, that's my generation, not yours, probably. And then Sierra says, honestly, West, now that I'm thinking of it, this is the best revenge that you could have executed. And then West is like, at no point, dude, did I say that, like, I wanted to get back together or, like, be her boyfriend or, like, hook up or anything like that, okay? Like, it was only friendly vibes. Yeah, sure, I gave her, like, compliments and stuff, you know, because she's great. She's, like, an amazing person. But, like, at no point was I putting it out there that, like, I was going to be her boyfriend or something like that. And, excuse me, West. But it was a lot more than just compliments, okay? It was like the weird long hugs and like you made out with her twice, okay? In the same night. And granted, that was after you made out with another chick in front of her. So, Sierra, that was your bad because I wouldn't have done that. But, you know, come on, please. You know, your actions clearly did not match. And then Ben chimes in. And he's like, listen, man, he's like, you know, I really did believe that everything you were saying, you know, was true, that you did care about Sierra. And he's like, but your actions, bro, your actions. And then Sierra says, yeah, I mean, like, you're totally full of shit. How about the fact that you told Ben that you had a crush on me and that when we were together, it was like magic or something? And my God, I sounded like a gremlin there. Speaking of gremlin, here's Amanda. Oh, it's just getting worse and worse for her, isn't it? But one thing I will point out, I think it's either in the second part or in the third part of this reunion coming up. She does admit that she did not watch the show. She did not watch this season back. So obviously that says a lot, right? Because that means that she's discovering a lot of this stuff for the first time. You know what I mean? And I forget what her excuse was, that she didn't want to watch the show. It was like bad for her mental health or something. But obviously we all know, or at least I know, and I think that the reason why she didn't watch it back is because she didn't want to see, you know, her being flirty with Wes and all the things that she could have done that was incriminating and stuff like that. Of course she didn't want to watch that back. And then, of course, she doesn't want to watch Sierra and Wes making out after in one episode. Yeah, so that could have a lot to do with her facial expressions throughout this. That and the drugs. Yeah. Or she's just a bitch and doesn't give a fuck. So I think I'm going to go with D, all of the above. Yeah. And then Mia chimes in, and so far she's been doing a great job, I have to say. Between Mia and Lindsay, you know, they're asking all the hard questions and they're really getting in there while everybody else is just kind of sitting back. But Mia says, all right, West, so you said all this stuff to Ben. You said you had a crush. You said that she was magical when you're together and everything is dreamy and all that shit. Did you really mean that? And West is like, dude, bro, girl. You know, of course I meant it, okay? Like, I'm not gonna lie about a relationship being good when it was, all right? Like, whatever, all right? And so, wait, who are we talking about? We talking about Sierra or Amanda? Yeah, Sierra. Yeah, of course, man. Like, yeah. So, like, after the season wrapped, you know, Sierra and I went out to dinner, okay? And we had, like, conversation about this. All right. And I said, like, dude, you know, I'm super casual and like she's not. You know what I mean? And so I was like, all right, we're not going down that rabbit hole again. You know what I mean, man? And so, like, then we made out. No. No. So then, like, we realized that, like, it wasn't going to work. You know what I mean? And so let me just translate. What he's trying to say is he wanted to bang and she wanted a relationship. It's just that simple, right? And to be fair, Sierra, he's not a relationship guy. And you knew that. And West, you did lead her on. So there's that, okay? So I will be sending you both the bill in the mail for my therapy services. You're welcome. And then Sierra's like, oh, come on, West. Like, really? You know, we spent so much time together in the fall, and don't act like we didn't have, like, flirty texts, okay? And I slept over your house twice. And then West is like, okay, but I thought it was just that one time. Like, we didn't even have sex, though. And then Lindsay says, okay, West, well, what's more important or what's more significant to you? An emotional relationship or a sexual one? And West is like, emotional.
So you don't think you and Sierra that wasn't a strong connection, that wasn't important, that wasn't something to consider?
Our chemistry for
Pause. Oh, I'm so sorry, Amanda. Are you getting aggravated? Are you getting stressed overhearing the details about the situation of what your man has been up to?
sure is, obviously we didn't talk for 2 years and we were kind of like right back in it. That is a real thing because I wanted to be your friend and not, I learned the first summer.
We didn't see that.
Say it again?
I said we didn't see that.
Yeah, no, and at the end of summer, I know it got romantic again the last weekend.
The first summer. We didn't see that. Say it again. I said we didn't see that. Yeah, no, and at the end of summer.
We didn't see that. And West is like, yeah, no, see? Because, like, yeah. And now Lindsay's going to go for gold right here.
Wes, you're so fucking good. You're really good. I'm like getting
Pulled into you right now, and I can catch myself.
You're so fucking good.
Get him, Lindsay, get him. Although I think this might be serving his ego a little bit. But anyway, get him, Lindsay.
You're good at pulling girls. Do whatever you need to do to climb the ladder, to clout chase, to get to wherever you fucking need to go. And then you drop them. And then, boom.
Boom, bitch. Bye-bye.
You're gonna do the same fucking thing to Amanda when this is not working out. Because it's not going to. And you're not gonna be able to handle it, Wes, because you're a fucking toddler.
Boom. Mic drop. And that is what you call a mic drop, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And then that is how you put somebody away. And now Sierra's going to throw away the key.
Or maybe they'll be together, because I honestly think that the best, like, woman for West is, like, someone who's not gonna check him on anything, and that's totally Amanda. Like, she's very mute, she's gonna be that weak figure that he needs, and he can always be the star in the relationship. So I actually think, like, maybe it could work.
Oh, now you have tears? Now you have tears, Amanda. Okay, well, look, it's really hard for me to feel sorry for you. In fact, I do not. I do not feel sorry for you at all, okay? Because you put yourself here. But not only that, it could have been any other guy except for West, okay? And we would have felt bad for you, all right? It wouldn't have excused the behavior, you know? I don't excuse cheating, but we would have understood it more. And you would have been fucking over one of your friends in the process, right? Because it could have been some random guy. And then Kyle's like, Sierra, that was a little harsh, you know? Like, I still feel for her, and I still have a lot of feelings for Amanda, and I care about her. So can you just, like... And is it just me, or does Kyle look like Ken? You know, like Ken doll. I mean, he, you know, because of the super tan and the white teeth. And, yeah, I mean, I guess it's a compliment, right? And then Sierra says, hey, that's your wife, not mine. Exactly. And Kyle, you better thank your lucky stars, okay? Because Sierra went relatively easy on Amanda, okay? Because if that were me or possibly anybody else, I would have tore that bitch to shreds, okay? And I would have burned the pieces so you wouldn't be able to pick them up, okay? So, yeah. And then that's it. It pretty much ends with Amanda in tears because, like, Sierra called her a loser. And then West finally shows some kind of affection and, like, puts his arm on her leg. I mean, so far he hasn't said shit and he hasn't defended her in any way or come in to explain things or anything. And so I'm more confused than ever, guys. So I don't know. Maybe we'll learn more in the second part or in the third part, which we don't, by the way, because you already saw it and so did I. And I know I'm coming in a little bit late. And that's why it's called a recap. And I have to say, it's been crazy and it's been a time, but it's been fun, you know? It's been like a scavenger hunt, you know, looking for all the clues and the Easter eggs and the breadcrumbs, as I call them. And, you know, and I haven't done that since summer camp. Oh, wait, summer house, summer camp? Huh. Anyway, to be continued. Oh, and look, there I am, enjoying a cocktail in my old stomping ground, the NYC. Born and raised, baby. That's right. And so that's the end of Summer House Season 10 Reunion, Part 1. Sorry. I think I'm a little bit drunk. I think I'm going to take this out. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to keep going. Okay. All right. So that's the end of Summer House Season 10 Reunion Part 1 recap. All right. So please subscribe to my channel and turn your notifications on. So that way you'll know when Part 2 drops. Okay. And I promise it will be dropping soon. Just give me some time. So thanks for watching. And please like the videos. Okay. Thanks. Bye-bye.